This video is about what you will and won't find in the law library. You will find primary and secondary sources in the library, and you will find official and unofficial publications by different publishers. There are primary sources and there are secondary sources. Primary sources are the law. Secondary sources are sources that merely talk about the law. So, for example, in the left-hand column, primary sources include statutes, constitutions, regulations, agency decisions, cases, treaties, executive orders. When you hold a copy of the statute in your hand, you are holding the actual law. Secondary sources are a number of things. I won't read them all, but for example, a legal encyclopedia or a law review article. And these sources talk about the law. When you hold a copy of a law review article about a statute in your hand, you're not holding the law, you're holding something talking about the law. There's a third category called finding tools, and these are tools we have in the library that help you find primary and secondary sources. All of these will be the focus of the rest of the videos in this course. Now I wanted to mention about publishers. There are basically two kinds of publishers. There's the government, and then there's all the private organizations, mostly for profit. The government publishes official publications. So if you hold a copy of the U.S. Code, which is statutes, that's published by the government, that's an official publication. However, private publishers also publish the U.S. Code. And if you hold one of their publications in your hand, you're holding an unofficial publication. You might be wondering, why do publishers publish things that the government already has published? Well, it goes back in history, but there was a time, and it's still true, that the private publishers can get the material published and in the hands of lawyers and judges and the public faster than the government can, and they do it for profit. We will talk all about the different official and unofficial publications when we go into print materials. What you really won't find in the law library is trial materials. It's not at all unusual for someone to go into the law library and ask the assistant, "I'd like to see the files from that murder case from last week in the Superior Court." Well, we don't have any of that. Mostly what's in the law library with respect to court cases is appellate decisions. There are some trial court decisions, but there's nothing from actual trials in our collection. You have to go to the courthouses for those things. The next video is called 4 Approaches to Legal Research.